Hello and welcome back to my blog, my podcast, whatever you want to call it. Um, I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to title this one. So I will see how I feel at the end of this episode, how I'm going to title it, but I guess we're just going to roll with it. Um, Anyways, okay, so I have switched back for right now just to my headset. So I'm not sure of the sound quality. Um, so I do apologize in advance. But basically, I guess where I left off was at the end of our DC trip. The next day, I had to go to Winston-Salem, North Carolina. My mom actually went with me. We left early in the morning. Uh, what was it? Salem is a doctor by the name of Jennifer Harmon. She's actually a neurogenetic doctor. So she's familiar with the brain and she's familiar with genetics. Because there's just very little um, doctors that have a knowledge of a leukodystrophy as an adult. And actually, I'll probably dive more into it, but I just recently learned that, you know, a lot of neuros that treat adults actually do not think of an adult being given the diagnosis of a leukodystrophy because majority of a leukodystrophy is a childhood disease. I'll dive more into that in another episode. I actually learned a lot this weekend. I went to a conference thanks to a friend of mine. She was able to help me out with getting a little bit of money so that I can attend virtually to a conference. So I will actually leave that to another podcast episode. So um, anyways, so my mom and I we went to Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and to see this doctor. And basically, she's still stating the same thing, like that this leukodystrophy gene mutation formed in my body, and it's a mosaicism. So the reason why I am able to talk, I am able to walk, I'm able to do things is because the disease did not do as much damage in my body or is not doing as much damage in my body as it can potentially do in my son's body. My son and I both have this rare, ultra rare disease variation. We are the only ones that it actually is passed from mother to son. Um, which I would think, scientists would want to like grab onto that, but evidently not. I don't understand research. If you find that there is an ultra rare variant where a mother has passed it on to their son, you would think that, you would want to study and see like why that happened. We are the only ones, people. We are the only ones where it was inherited. Why are we so lucky? Can't fathom why. I just feel like sometimes that's just God having a sense of humor and saying, "Hey, all the shit that you've done throughout your life, here you go. We're going to add more shit to your plate because, we just want to just stress you out more." They say that if you believe in God and everything, they say that God does not give you a lot of crap that you can't handle. Well, damn it, I go day by day like, how the hell am I handling this shit? Like, this doesn't make sense. Like, this week is ridiculous, and I guess I'll have to leave that for another podcast, but it's like, holy crap, like, how much more can I be thrown in my path? Um, and but yeah, like, so she is going to see me virtually as much as she can. I have another appointment in like December, where I will be meeting with her, to discuss anything further. I found out that, she actually is saying that, the In Lorem Foundation is not responding to people. But however, I made a post on Facebook, and they sent me a message on Instagram actually. And they were like, "We don't understand what's going on. Like, we have so many kids, so many people that we see, so many patients. If you're a patient." And I'm like, "No, I'm not a patient yet. I was supposed to be finding out this past meeting how much we were supposed to raise to become a patient with your foundation. But my doctor at Children's National is saying that y'all are not communicating." So they gave me an email to email. So I've emailed them now. I'm waiting on a response. We'll see if I get anything. Maybe something will come up from my side, but you would think that they would want to talk to the doctor's side. I have no clue. I'm so baffled. Also, um uh she said that Dr. Frazier would probably be the best one to reach out to Eichler, because they're like they work together. They're on like some kind of panel or something like that they get on in the mornings, like I think on Tuesdays or Wednesdays or something. Um, Dr. Frazier was gonna tell me about a leukodystrophy conference, but she never did. But my this doctor, Jennifer Harmon, she was able to tell me how to find this leukodystrophy conference and how to get into it. And I actually went, and it was so empowering, so enlightening. Like, it was like no other, like I learned a lot, and I got some resources, I got emails, I got contacts, that kind of thing. So, um, but anyways, um, yeah, so basically, she did not want to test my mom at all. The white matter that is actually going on in my mom's mind is actually old age white matter that they actually see as they get older. The difference between my mom's white matter disease and my white matter disease is I'm younger. I should not have this white matter disease in my brain at this age. I should not have that much, or whatever, that those issues in my brain. So that is why I should have been more of a concern to my neuros whenever I went through stuff. So I have some emails that I'm gonna send to my neuro that ordered that MRI, and be like, "Hey, just letting you know, that MRI that you prescribed to me, that you claimed had nothing to do, I went and got a second opinion. I went and got headache medicine, blah, 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 blah. That neuro also said there was nothing going on. Well, guess what? I have a leukodystrophy. Think about that mess. Just saying. Um, Always, always, always get second opinions on everything. If you have questions about it, that's what I've learned through life. Like, these doctors, they're probably not perfect. They also are not probably up to date on the new crap that's going on for whatever reason. They may not be up to date. They may be up to date. I'm not sure. I don't know how well they have to like renew their credentials, or renew the information, the newer information that's coming out. I don't know when they're going to go to these conferences. I have no clue. So always, always, always go get a second opinion on anything you have that is concerning you. It is your health, and unfortunately, we have to advocate for ourselves, because that doctor is just going, unless you know that doctor personally, that doctor only sees you as a money sign, unfortunately, because they only see you for 5-10 minutes a day. They do not know you specifically. You know you specifically. So you have to advocate for yourself and let them know, say, "Hey, this is not normal of me. I need to look into this, and you need to fight, 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 fight for answers. And this is what I see in even the rare disease community. We have to fight for answers. We have to fight for our children. We have to be their voice. And that is like the common theme in our life, in like our workplace, in our relationships, in our medical, in our children's lives, and not even just for medical, even in their schools, their, just teaching you how to stand up for yourself, teaching you how to research for yourself, teaching you how to speak up for yourself. That is what a lot of people, some people do not have the skills to do, some people do. I've had to learn the hard way on how to stand up for myself. I went to school for this. I went to school for advocacy. I took 10 years, but I finally got a degree in advocacy. So I can advocate for myself. I can go and find resources for myself. Do I understand everything that is thrown at in my face? No, I don't know dilly crap half the time, because a lot of the stuff that's thrown at me, I'm just like, I look at it like, what does this mean? And then I have to go and research or look it up. And the worst thing to do is Google, but at the same time, Google helps you. Now they have come up with these new things called like Chat AI that actually help you determine things and help you like write things, and I'm baffled by Chat. There's actually a program called Chat GPT. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. It is amazing. My husband introduced me to it. I've used it a lot. We used it to determine my son's birthday party. I've used it to help summarize some things that I wanted to say to organizations. I'm actually about to sit down and write a generic letter and start researching who I need to send like letters to, like heads of the departments of like universities that work with children's pediatrics, and see if they have colleagues that they can help find that could come in on some research. Maybe they've gotten grants or something. It would be nice. So, they gave me some website through the thing where I could find out who has gotten grants. I don't know it all like exactly, but I'm very much interested in looking at some more resources. There actually is for a leukodystrophy, if you actually um, uh, are interested in research on the leukodystrophy, there is a foundation. It's the NFL, National Foundation of Leukodystrophy, I think is what it's called, or National Leukodystrophy Foundation, NLF. I think it's called NLF, National Leukodystrophy Foundation. It is a blanket for leukodystrophies. So any leukodystrophy there, but unfortunately, like at this conference, I don't know why they picked specific leukodystrophies to talk about. Maybe they're the ones that they're working on. I'm not 100% sure. So, but anyways, yeah, it's yeah, I don't know, but yeah, so that week that we went to Winston-Salem, we got done with with the appointment in Winston-Salem, and we headed home. And then the very next day, I actually had to get up early in the morning. Carter had an MRI, and guys, oh, me and my husband, we got into an argument, and I didn't know if we were going to make it there on time. Like we were just fighting because like we just like procrastination, and then my husband, he is so like nitpicky on things. And it can be a good thing, but we just butt heads a lot. And so I didn't know if we were going to make it there on time, but we did. But unfortunately, Carter woke up because we did argue. And unfortunately, Carter did wake up. And so he was awake. for this time. And but last time he had an MRI, they just gassed him in the back and he was fine. And then they put in his IV or whatever they had to do. But for some reason this time they were not gassing him. They were going to do IV sedation. um, I'm gonna ask next time if there's any way possible of doing a gas sedation next time, only because of how bad it was this time. We basically had to make him loopy, with some like a little bit of a an oral sedative type thing, and so it made him loopy. It made it easy for us to get an IV in him. Um, but at the same time it was just like really, like they, I don't understand. I know they say that the hand is like the best one to get for like an IV, but I don't understand, like I don't know, like the girl numbed two spots before she had to leave because she had an emergency with her own kid, and so she numbed two spots on his arm and had to leave it there for about 30 minutes or so for it to numb up and everything. And the head nurse comes in and she starts stabbing my son pretty much with these needles to get him in, and she starts with his hand. Like, why didn't you look to see if you could even get it in, before you even tried? But it is what it is. They stuck him. Unfortunately, his hand blew, so they had to get him in his arm. They got him in his arm quick, just a quick in his arm, and they hooked him up to the IV and they got him into the sedation, and we waited and he did fine. He did great with the sedation. Um, Unfortunately, that's going to be our life. They were checking on his Chiari, but other things came back. His Chiari's still there. Of course, the disease is still there. The sinus, there was some stuff with his sinuses, so I asked his ENT to look it over, and because of his history with being sick and everything, there is a chance that we may end up having to do adenoid and appendectomy or something like that. Basically, getting his adenoids out. Um, Unfortunately, Carter is sick again right now too. But he does not have like we don't think he's got any sinus issues going on. He's just throwing up, So we're gonna get it. We did get a stool sample this Saturday, so we'll see. But anyways, so then right after the MRI, he was still loopy. We went to allergy, and he was able to get an allergy test done, and he has no allergies, guys. No allergies. So what is making him sick? I don't get it. And she also is an immunologist too. She said that she didn't think that his levels were high enough for him to have an immune disease, an autoimmune disease. So it's like what's going on? But she did do some more blood tests and everything, and um I those came back, I think, low. So I don't know what that means. No one's called us. I'm assuming it's a good thing. I don't know. So I'm gonna send her a message. I'm assuming it's fine though, but I'm gonna send her a message and let her know. Say, hey, look, Carter's sick again, and all he did was get into a kiddie pool at a birthday party. That's all he did. But and I haven't heard if any other kids are sick, so I don't know. I don't know. Um. Anyways, uh, so I apologize. I'm yawning. um. I just Um, I don't know. I don't know. We'll see what they say. And I just I'm so perplexed on what's going on with my kid. The next day after allergy, we did go see pulmonary. And actually, he ordered us a pulmonary vest. Basically, it shakes Carter. It should shake any mucus that he's got up loose. Um, and then he is asked us to do breathing treatments twice a day as well. It's looking like we're gonna have to start doing that consistently, because he's already sick again. It's not respiratory though. That's the only thing. Like I'm like it's not respiratory, so why do I have to continue doing this? But evidently, like he's got some secretion or like mucus in his chest, and we've just got to find a way to get it out. So or before it gets worse. So it's just hard to do all these treatments when we're not really used to doing it ourselves, and we're just exhausted mentally, physically, with everything. I'm not gonna lie, our house is a mess right now, and I've been asking my husband to assist me with cleaning the house for several days now, so that I don't have to pay someone to help us clean our house. But it's looking like we may end up, if we get money, I may have to pay someone to help me clean this house and get it organized because I can't. With our mental health and how exhausted we are taking care of Carter, it's just my husband does a lot to help me with Carter. He really does, and I applaud him on this, and I thank him so much for this. A lot. I may not say it to him a lot, but I know he listens to these podcasts too sometimes. So hopefully he will hear this and he will say, "Hey, thank you for that. Thank you, that plug." Yeah, we do butt heads a lot, but he does do a lot to help me with Carter. Um, but as far as the housework, we need a little more help on that, to be honest. And it's like if I tell him I'm going to pay somebody, he doesn't like it. One, because it's money, and two, because he has a way about his mess. He doesn't want anyone messing with it, but at the same time, it's like it can't just sit here in this kind of a mess. Like it's not not healthy. It's not appeasing. We can't have people over because of the way it looks. Do we have mice? Do we have rodents? No, we don't. But it's just a bunch of junk. I don't know how to really explain it. So, actually, when I get off here and get done editing, I'm going to be going and cleaning the kitchen, because it really needs it, and doing laundry and stuff because I've been slacking myself, and I really need to get on it. And eventually we will get down here to this game room area. It's just it can get a little stuffy in here. I think that it would be best and beneficial for us to start uh, colliding all his Pokemon stuff together and into like just a few boxes, even if I have to come down here when he's not here. Which right now he's always here because he doesn't have a job. I have yet to hear back from the lawyer to see if they've signed the papers because hopefully I will get my money as soon as they sign the papers. I don't know. I was really hoping for the money sooner than later. Chris is going to pull his retirement. I don't know if I'm going to pull mine. We'll see if I'm going to get money per month from the disability services, um, then I would like to continue trying to get money from there. Um, but if I'm not gonna get any money, I'm just gonna pull my retirement. I'll get like maybe $6,000. So that might pull us a couple more months to try and get things together for Carter so that way and maybe work on our YouTube and stuff. I just I really thought my husband was going to work on his stuff and I have yet to see him even when Carter's taking a nap, like I have yet to see him come down here and work on his Pokemon stuff and I'm not happy about it. I've told him that until he can come down here and start cleaning up and organizing this room down here, I better not see any more Pokemon come in this house at all. None. I'm not happy with it. Because like we have a lot, and he could be sitting on a gold mine here, and he hasn't even done it, and I don't understand why that he hasn't even tried to find out if he's even got money down here in any of these cards that he's got. Like every chance he got, he would buy freaking cards. I even enabled him, you know, because I wanted to make him happy. Being Pokemon cards made him happy, but it's become abundantly clear that he needs to come down here and work on this. So maybe today, maybe there'll be a chance today for him to come down here. As of right now, I'm down here obviously, and I am going to try and upload my TikTok videos to um, my YouTube and to my Instagram and Facebook, so that way I can start getting more money on that, because I got money on Facebook, y'all. I had no clue that I had got money on Facebook. That made me happy. I guess one of my reels like got really like got some traction there, I'm assuming. So, I don't know, we'll see. I don't know. It was like $7, $8 came from Facebook. I no clue where that came from. I gotta look at my insights and find out where that came from. But anyways, so yeah, so that was basically the week after we got back from DC. Um, to be honest, when we got back, we also met with his ABA. ABA says he's doing great. He's progressing. Obviously, he got a really good positive progress report when we got back. So that's good. And he is extended to go during the summer. So that's good too. They're actually going to try and do longer days. They're just going to try it out, see how it works out. But unfortunately, they tried it out on a really bad day, unfortunately, which is basically the day that he got sick. So, right now we're just dealing with that. So, anyways, I guess I'm going to end this podcast now, and I will think about the next podcast that I'm going to talk about. So, I've unraveled a lot of things. I guess the next one will probably be mostly about the conference and things I learned, and it was pretty cool. So, all right, well, I guess I will see you in the next episode. And if you want to follow me on social media, follow me on social media, Katie Canning. That is my name. I am at KITYKAT 35 on TikTok, and I am at KITTYKATIE 2931 on Instagram, Katie Canning on Facebook. If you want to follow me. I am going to see if there's any way of putting like a link on my podcast before whenever I'm doing my editing. But if not, there you go. I guess I will talk to you later. Thanks.